You are listening to DC On Screen.
Welcome into DC On Screen. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This, my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
Last episode, we talked about James Gunn unveiling the big mural in the Hall of Justice. He posted all that on social media, and we have a list of all of the metahumans throughout time.
Not that list.
No, not... This is this is a mural. This is a list of superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Very different.
Yeah. But yeah. So thought it'd be fun. We talked about it in the last episode. Mm-hmm. This mural that was in the Hall of Justice in Superman, shown ever so briefly. We now have a list of all the people who were on that mural, and we do a show from time to time called Comic Castaways on our Patreon. It's exclusive to Patreon listeners, the $5 tier to be exact. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's talk. This is very important, possibly, to the DCU. Let's just do this for the main feed. As we reported last week, or last episode, Gunn said there was a ton of thought put into it. A ton of thought. Not necessarily specifically will we see all of them. But yes, some of them we already have in the works in different things in different ways, and we don't know which ones are going to be in the works, or that are in the works for new projects. So why not talk about all of them? And the way we do it on Comic Castaways is you look it up in the DC Encyclopedia, the physical thing that you have. Mm-hmm. You have two different ones.
Right.
I have like two or three different ones, and they're in my library in the basement, and I'm not going down there. Mm-hmm. But I've got the internet, so I'm all right too.
Right.
Just in case, because
fine either way.
They truncate that shit in the encyclopedias a bit.
They do, yeah. That was part of the fun. Was it only gives us a little glimpse. And normally we just sort of pick, a bit of a rando. Literally we do at random grab anybody out of this, and I just grab the weirdest person on the page and tell Dave about it normally.
Yeah.
Some of this, I imagine, will be a little bit like that.
It's going to feel like that.
Some. Half of this list I feel like we'll have some familiarity with. And then a good amount of it, though, won't be quite the cringy nightmare that we normally make fun of.
But that's the best part.
Yeah, I know. But it's just, I feel like it's just going to be harder on Mike's Mercury than it is our normal fodder.
Yeah.
Like, just, there's this, let's see, we got Mademoiselle Marie right under this. Like, just flip around. There's Plasmus. I've never seen him before. It looks like a giant goop of bubble gum that was pried under a bunch of classroom chairs.
Yeah,
strapped it together.
We do need to do more of those.
Yeah. I don't know who Plasmus is, but this is fantastic. Here, I'll send you pictures. It's beautiful.
But I've got the list here, and I think we have to start off with Sister Symmetry. Mm-hmm. And again, this is just, possibly get an idea of who these characters are for you guys. And if you don't know who they are, and get an idea of what the fuck they're doing in the DCU. Like, what's James Gunn gonna, pull via dental floss out of his dick hole?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm not sure how that one came to be. But somehow I got that it was pulling weird threads.
There you go.
So I do typically read, these are the actual bios. They have these little bio blurbs, and then it's a bio and then a blurb. Usually I just sort of read Dave what these are. And in this case, Sister Symmetry would be the Madame Xanadu version, really. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to read the Madame Xanadu portion out of, this is the 2008 edition, in case you're curious.
Oh, they don't have Sister Symmetry in there?
You know what? Let me see if it's proper Sister Symmetry.
Yeah, because this is Sister Symmetry. This isn't, it is Madame Xanadu, for real, but...
That's true.
It's one of her alii. Plural for alias.
Yeah. Which I assume is a thing.
Yeah,
Nope, she did not make it.
Wow.
I got Sinestro, Sirius, and we go straight to Skeets.
Okay. Yeah, so there you go.
Well, in a backup version, we could do a quick internet blurb of them.
Sure.
What do we got? A powerful sorceress who wields the cloak of Sira and is imbued with powers of the Lord of Order. Powers by the Lord of Order.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense for Sister Symmetry, of course.
Yeah.
She's what, the far left one? The one that looks like she's playing with a
Yeah.
pink slinky?
Yeah. Like in order of the mural. This is how this is going.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of these are kind of like hilariously cartoonish.
Yeah.
Like they look like they were kind of made of tile work in a way that always looks a little off, you know?
Uh-huh.
like she looks a bit like an owl.
Yeah. Well, they actually do
I
have,
don't really know why.
in the real building, they actually have a mural. I think they based it on that.
Yeah, yeah. It's an odd look. The one right next, Silent Night, I kept telling you it was Zoidberg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just legit does look like it. Let's see, Silent Night, are you in here? Let's see what you got.
Hold on now. Let's talk about Sister Symmetry for just a second.
A little bit more.
Because I think, this is all like, she's got a castle behind her. Morgan, sister of Morgan Le Fay or whatever, started the Justice League Dark, founding member.
Oh, the Symmetry.
Sisters. Originally powerful sorceress from Arthurian legends, one of the sisters of Morgan Le Fay, like I said. Member of the Homo Magi, a race of magical humans. Her name and story are linked to the Lady of the Lake and various other Arthurian mythos elements. In DC continuity, Nimue was responsible for removing Merlin's powers and was later cursed with immortality as punishment for her role in Arthurian tragedies. She debuted in Doorway to Nightmare #1, 1978, created by David Michelini and Val Mayerick. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up, founding member of Justice League Dark and Arthurian legend character here. That's what we're dealing with.
I love it.
She's got a fucking castle behind her in the mural.
Yeah, that is a good point. So we're definitely going to be going for that time frame. And then it can't be a mistake that person's next to a knight character.
Right. Well, the knight, he's from the 6th century England.
Which, by the way, you might as well go ahead and read a little bit on him because these characters are striking out on the official dictionary so far. So what you got on him?
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
0 for 2. Even getting into the actual, this is the proper DC Comics encyclopedia with 350 pages.
All right, yeah. Silent Knight is Brian Kent, a medieval superhero from the 6th century. It is hard to say that.
I hate it. And I really have learned to hate the way some British and Irish people say it. Sixth. There's no extra S sound in it.
So
it bothers me.
He also lived at the time of King Arthur, shared some battles with the Knights of the Round Table and the wizard Merlin. Lady Celia Penbrook, the reincarnation of Princess Shiara, was one of the travelers whom he had rescued, and they eventually fell in love. And it was later implied that Brian was a past avatar of the Hawk God, or a past incarnation of Hawkman.
Right.
So I was wondering if you would start catching on that that's who he was.
Oh, very much so. I was wondering if you had trouble not doing the thing when you said her name.
Sharon.
Yeah, that thing.
The Legends of Tomorrow Vandal Savage, yeah.
Yes, the growl with which he pronounced her name for an entire season. Poor closed caption people, man.
What was it they did later on in Legends where like he died and went to hell or something, and he was just like really got in touch with himself and like became like a way better person, like totally self-actualized.
I do kind of remember that. I think he said, I don't remember if he said her name. I think it would have been funny if he did come back and actually say like Shiara very clearly, but I only vaguely remember him coming back.
Yeah.
God, that's been a while.
Anyway, Silent Knight achieved great fame and became a symbol of freedom to those citizens who were oppressed. And that's pretty much him. It looks like he was in an issue of a Scooby-Doo. He did his team up with Scooby-Doo in the comics.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
And he was officially Carter Hall on Superhero Girls, it looks like. So there's Silent Knight. What you got on Exoristos? Exoristos.
I have 0 for 3. What else?
I'm gonna have to
seriously. These are not in the actual thing. I'm looking them up as we go.
I'm gonna have to look them up. Give me just a second.
Yeah.
Oh, that is an exiled Amazon
from Themyscira.
Themyscira, yeah, she wandered around the world for several years.
Ooh,
I mean,
all right. What do we look like here? Ooh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense now that I look at her.
Amazon of some renown before her exile, she was very close to Farah, who took her friend's exile poorly. Eventually, Farah struck out into the world, seeking to return Exoristos to the Isle in order to prove Exoristos' worth to Queen Hippolyta, but instead found herself infected with vampirism by Cain.
Okay.
Jesus.
So there's kind of a fallen angel in the mascara language.
And then there's like a whole story with the Demon Knights.
Gotta have it.
All that. Eventually, Exoristos would regain her honor in the eyes of the Amazons participating in the American Revolution. Oh, okay. In time, her sword would return to Themyscira's armory and in turn find its way to the hands of the Amazonian Princess Diana. All right. So, Wonder Woman's
now here she doesn't
sword
have a
bearer.
sword so much as a half of a road sign.
All right.
Like, I guess it's an axe of some kind.
Yeah. Mayhap.
Something that she can absolutely maul people with, it looks like.
Yeah. But, we know that he's doing Paradise Lost, and that's an active development, so.
Yeah. Pretty classic Amazonian outfit otherwise, right?
Yeah.
This next fella,
Uh-huh.
surprisingly, is in here.
Black Pirate.
Black Pirate is there. Mm-hmm. Purple cape, white shirt,
Yeah.
yellow pants, the whole thing.
The whole guy.
So first appearance back in 1942, Sensation Comics #1. Deceased hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah, real name John Valor.
Sure.
That's right on the nose, isn't it?
As you do.
Yeah, base England, 5'11", 164 pounds, brown-eyed, brown eyes. A swashbuckling swordsman and accomplished sailor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As war divided Europe in 1588, British nobleman John Valor led a trusted crew of bold but benevolent buccaneers as a masked black pirate who sailed the high sea for the cause of justice. They didn't think anyone would be reading that out loud. They put a lot of B's there. Though loyal to the British crown, Valor also served under the Spanish flag for a brief time before returning to Great Britain and swashbuckling alongside his son, Justin. Which just sounds hilariously mundane.
Yeah.
However,
my name is Tim.
The Black Pirate came back and found his heir, Eric. Black Pirate revealed his true identity to the British monarch and hung up his cape and cowl. Years later, when British ships were threatened by mysterious privateers, Valor heeded the king's call for the Black Pirate to return to the action and scuttle the roguish raiders. To his surprise, Valor discovered Justin alive and well and leading a band of Puritans who attacked British ships to fund their planned journey to the U.S. Valor made peace with Justin, who set sail for a new life in the U.S., and retired to his home in England, where he presumably lived his remaining days, rarely drawing his sword from its scabbard. All right. Just a swashbuckling pirate who was a white hat with a purple cowl.
Yeah. There is something...
I'm not really seeing the angle of why he's on here, but okay.
There's some... Like on the internet here, there's some mention of John Valor's restless spirit ended up helping the rookie superhero Jack Knight to fight a crime wave caused by the Mist. John helped Jack from the sidelines, slaying many of the Mist soldiers. Eventually, he contacted Jack directly asking for his help. At the time, also relating the circumstances of his own death. Knight promised to prove the Black Pirate's innocence. Before he could fulfill this, the murderous dwarf, Simon Culp, seized control of the situation and used John's curse for his own evil purposes. Culp's plans fell apart when the legendary detective Hamilton Drew, working with Ralph and Sue Dibney, proved that John was innocent. Not only was John's soul freed, every soul that had ever died in Opal was freed. Opal City was freed as well. So that's an interesting little side note. That
Weird little revival for him.
Yeah, apparently like his spirit was trapped.
Okay.
At some point, and the elongated man and his wife had to do something about it.
I mean, this mural seems more concerned with his corporeal efforts.
That's what you think.
It's just a picture of the dude in dude form here rather than spirit form, but who knows?
Right, yeah.
Also, he's next to some barrels, which, I don't know. Is that just to indicate piracy barrels?
Mayhap.
Now, there is the ship behind him, obviously.
Yeah.
Why does that one guy seem to have a bank behind him?
I don't know.
The Silent Knights. It really just looks like that's what typical American symbol for that's a banking institution. For sure, there's an ATM down that road.
Yep.
All right, going to the next person here. All right, we've got literally the tail end on the picture I was looking at. All right, so he is up here he's just on that little box. All right. Who we got next? Miss Liberty.
Miss Liberty.
All right.
Bess Lynn.
She is in here. And Tomahawk 81, March 1971. Hero, deceased, of course. Bess Lynn, freedom fighter, base Mobile, Alabama. Height 5'8", 137, blue and blonde.
That's
skilled
weird.
Combatant.
Online it says Massachusetts in the 18th century for base of operations.
Oh, I'm very sorry. That does just mean mobile. It just means her base moved. Forgot that's a word here they just use over and over again. That just means base was everywhere. Gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
Back on track. All right.
That bitch a nomad.
Liberty is needed everywhere, sir. Skilled combatant and rider used powder horns to create explosions, sowing panic among enemy troops. Sounds fun. All right. Revolutionary War that established the U.S.'s independence from Great Britain had its own costumed heroes. Frontier nurse Bess Lynn was eager to fight against British forces, but afraid to do it openly for fear her brother, a captive in England, would be harmed in retaliation. Calling herself Miss Liberty, she donned a mask, wig, and a red, white, and blue costume inspired by the stars and bars, flag of her new nation, obviously. She battled redcoats alongside fellow hero Tomahawk, riding a white charger and wielding a sword and whip. Tragically, Miss Liberty died before the end of the war in a battle with Hessian troops who had stolen the Liberty Bell. During the fighting, the colossal bell fell on Miss Liberty and crushed her. More than 150 years later, Miss Liberty's descendant Libby Lawrence fought against the Axis powers as Liberty Bell. That is tragic end.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what she's going to do in here exactly.
She might not do anything. You know?
Yeah, very possible.
It might really just be a thing of like, hey, there was this person and that's the thing.
I know. It just the part of me that wants to look for meaning here is just that, like, yeah, I know you're going to do something with some of these people. Like, Max Mercury seems juicy. Xanadu is always going to seem juicy. If not necessarily that one. Symmetry or something. Like, anything like that. Just a lot of stuff in there. But, like, you filled up this wall with people, and it could have been anyone. I'm holding an entire book. They're like 350 pages with sometimes up to 4 or 5 characters per page. This one character is just defined as missed 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking in a 6th person. So, like, I just, there were so many options. Makes me think there's going to be something there, but I have no idea what we're talking about with it yet. And unless he just wants to show a very funny scene of someone dying by being crushed by a Liberty Bell at the end of a war.
Yeah.
Feels pretty gunny.
It does.
What else we got? Max Mercury.
Here's the thing, though. Well, mine was Whirlwind, but Whirlwind is Max Mercury. Except Max Mercury is like, at the beginning of the mural, you see Whirlwind crouched like he's about to run.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in the mural, you see Max Mercury in the future because they're doing this according to like eras. Like they've got this mural sectioned off. So you have Whirlwind crouching, and then you have Max Mercury running through the ages,
appearing.
Yeah, so it's the same character. It's the same character, and I'm wondering if Gunn is going to fuck around and do, because he very specifically, when someone mentioned it. There's
a character in here named the Whip. I just don't feel like that's going to be the same guy at all.
Someone brought up the fact that Jay Garrick was in here, the Flash, and he went, and Gunn was literally like, nope. So I'm wondering if Max Mercury is going to replace the Flash in the DCU for a minute. Maybe not forever, but
okay, that's feasible. And also, all right, that is weird. So I could see it just him being there twice is just maybe a visual representation of like, oh, he's so fast that but yeah, he changes era, costume, time, all the thing.
Yeah, he does though. In the comics, he starts off as Whirlwind and then took on Max Mercury as an alias later on.
Yeah.
He literally went through time.
Yeah. Now, Gunn did say he's not a fan of like time travel proper.
Well, he doesn't have to be. To me, that just means
Flash time travel is different though, I feel like.
Well, also like, he's doing Booster Gold. Motherfucker's gonna do time travel. Like,
I know. We
can't about, like, stop it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to like find his piece with how he wants to do that one way or the other, just to do some characters, and some characters he's already signed up for. Mm-hmm. So sure, but even then, even if he has a thing in his head about it, like speed time travel, I do feel like is different. It's a different mechanism to me. That's different than like super science time travel. Also,
like Mark Waid is the one who like rebooted fucking Max Mercury. So like. You know, Mark Waid, like, Gunn has already talked about how important Mark Waid is. Oh, yeah. He literally named a street after him in Superman. Like, Mark Waid has already got his dick barb in Gunn's ass. Which, I mean, let's be fair, he has his dick barb in all of our asses, I would say.
It's sitting behind me. It's, I got one, hold on, let me reach behind me, and that is, right there. Copy number 2 of New History of the DC Universe. Where he is currently redesigning the entire thing.
And let's not pretend that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
hey,
also the thing I'm doing as soon as we're done.
Hey, Mark, what say that you become our new Jeff Johns as you always should have been? We should have just ignored Jeff in the first place.
You think you want the younger model sometimes, and just no. Turns out, no.
So yeah, I'm gonna
look up Super Chief.
DC Comics superhero similar to Quality Comics Quicksilver. That's Max Mercury / Whip Whirlwind. Is a character I feel like that needs to be made fun of on Family Guy.
Yeah. By Stewie, of course.
Hey, look, there's a spoiler. God, I gotta finish fucking Arrowverse, dude. Max Mercury appears in the television series The Flash. Son of a bitch! Dude, I waited so long for Max Mercury. And then I just dipped out. I was like, I can't do it anymore. Oh, give me a proper Harry Vanderspiegel. Son of a bitch!
Yeah.
Which
it's half worth finishing.
But since we didn't talk about who he actually is, let's do this real quick. He first appeared in Quality's National Comics number 5 in 1940 as Quicksilver. And he was the first imitator of the Flash's super speed shtick, according to historian Don Markstein. Almost nothing was revealed about the character except that he possesses super speed and had previously worked as a circus acrobat.
Flashy and fast. That's all we got on this guy right now.
Sort of a Dick Grayson type.
Yeah.
But with speed. Lots of speed, kid.
We'll learn more later.
After about a third of his features run, his superhero speed was downplayed or phased out altogether. He appeared in National Comics until issue 73 in 1949 and made an appearance on Uncle Sam Quarterly in 41. And Mark Waid reinvented the character in The Flash without contradicting previously established continuity. When the character reappeared in the early 90s issues of The Flash, his name was changed from Quicksilver to Mercury to avoid confusion with Marvel Comics' Quicksilver. Just in case you guys were confused.
Yeah.
He was originally a scout in the U.S. Cavalry in the 1830s, a friend of the local Indian tribes. He was shocked and dismayed to find them massacred on the orders of his commanding officer. Enchanted by a dying Indian shaman, he gained superhuman speed. In the years that followed, he became known to the Indians as a word I can't say, he who runs beyond the wind, and to everyone else as Wind Runner. He repeatedly traveled through time, seeking to enter the Speed Force. He usually bounces off and finds himself decades in the future. His first attempt left him in the 1890s, where he created a new identity for himself as Whip Whirlwind. Later, he traveled ahead again and was active in the 30s and 40s as Quicksilver, when he acted as a mentor to the Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, and Johnny Quick.
This was your favorite era. This is the reason you wanted to see him over and over again, if I recall.
I did. I just like the idea of him.
You love the mentor, like Zen type.
Yeah.
Max Mercury.
Well, I always wanted to do like a thing where it was like, and they did Savitar on The Flash, but what I wanted was like
Time God?
Basically, like he keeps going forward in the future, and like every time he bounces into the future, like he's just leaving behind this legend in his wake. That was my idea, to like basically combine Quicksilver and Savitar instead of having Savitar be Barry.
Right. Yeah.
But whatever. He did. He did
not
battle.
Their best reveal. Yeah.
He did battle Savitar at some point.
He did. At around the time that Grant Gustin was battling with himself about whether to renew his contract.
Mm-hmm. In 1948, he had an affair with the wife of a doctor who saved his life. That's how you do it. Mm-hmm. When the doctor learned of this and his wife returned to her husband's side, Max fled to the future once more. He then reappeared in the early 1960s, where he battled Savitar and was bounced further forward in time. He spent some years in hiding, but was persuaded by Garrick to return to action against Professor Zoom, who was posing as Barry Allen. Max Mercury has been the mentor of First, Wally West and later Bart Allen, alias Impulse. He taught West about the Speed Force and helped him to access his full speed by encouraging him to break a mental block he had placed on his powers, stopping Wally from being as fast as Barry because he would then have really replaced his uncle as the Flash. He also attempted to teach Impulse a measure of patience with varying results. Dude, Max Mercury's just been like, he's the fucking inebriati, dude. Every speedster in history, Max Mercury has been there, gently swaying in the distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we can move on. There's so much that you could talk about with Max Mercury.
Mercury got a good chunk of the page here just for spatial representation purposes, but it still wasn't a full page.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we would go to the next one. Would be Super Chief.
Sure, Super Chief.
Who is present and accounted for in this book. So, let me find his picture.
Cool.
I want to get a look at this fella. All right, we got... Ooh. All right, yeah, he's got the next. All right, cool. So, All-Star Western, 1961. Real name is Flying Stag. All right. Deceased hero, superpowered warrior, North American, 5'10", 170, gray and black. Meteorite fragment gives him super strength, super speed, flight, and extended lifespan.
Ooh.
All right, then. That'll be interesting.
If they do anything with it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one way to get around your time problem if you're Gunn.
But it's like the name of several fictional characters. 3 superheroes and 1 supervillain in the DC Universe.
It is.
I'm going to roll out the supervillain immediately.
Yeah.
Though the way that TV and movies work on these things, a lot of times they will take like one of the heroes, probably the most popular one, and then make it to where like a predecessor... what am I looking for? What comes after a predecessor? The first person. Descendant, okay. One of the people who takes up the mantle has to prove themselves, and turns out the original became the supervillain. You know what? Like that's just kind of how I'm feeling. Like sometimes when they do that kind of stuff, I feel like that's done a lot.
Yeah. But
go ahead. Let's talk about who the character is. Sorry.
This cracks me up. As I looked back at the page, I realized just flight standing out there. It is meteorite fragment as a way to get a power is interesting. He does have the necklace on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the mask. All right, but I don't know anything about this guy. So, as the greatest warrior of the Wolf Clan in the late 1400s, that will never stop being a cool name to me. Flying Stag knew he would win the contest to become Roya, Supreme Chief of the Iroquois Nation. His rivals, however, had trapped him in a pit, and when Flying Stag prayed to the Great Spirit Manitau, a radioactive meteorite fell from the sky. Wearing a shard of the meteorite around his neck, Flying Stag could access miraculous powers for 1 hour each day. Oh, okay. To honor the Great Spirit, he became Saganawana, or Super Chief. Super Chief led a heroic life and took a lover, White Fawn. But the energies of the meteorite caused him to outlive everyone he knew. He survived into the late 1800s, and the modern era John Standing Bear became the new Super Chief following the events of the Infinite Crisis. After joining a temporary lineup of the Justice League of America, a Super Chief died while fighting Booster Gold's robot companion, Skeets. Well, that is a way to end.
Yeah. How did you die, Skeet? Oh, God. Skeet.
Unexpected. And that's a hero-on-hero battle. So that means, like, was he just some bystander that gets, killed like bystanders sometimes do?
I don't know. Man.
Like, that's an unfortunate thing to happen. To end your character on, since you've been around since 1961, I guess. Yeah.
This one's kind of funny. It's just a funny title. The fourth unnamed Super Chief is an ally of Superman and a member of the Supermen of America, whose abilities are derived from a Kryptonian stone. Jesus Christ! But the little his title, according to Wikipedia, Saginawa of Wisconsin.
That has a Justin energy to it. Yes.
Yeah. Justin energy.
Yeah. This one's too long. It includes El-Diablo 1 and 2. So,
Lord, El-Diablo.
I'll pass it off somewhere in there, but we'll do this. All right, so we got a couple versions, and this is going to be the horseback version, right? All right, so
it's the original, so we could just go with
This is an old school. Well, yeah, he's got a gunslinging. Okay, so first appearance of That fella, yeah, the Lazarus Lane version is going to be 1970. Adventure from Puerto del Sol, California, 6 foot, blah, blah, blah. And an expert marksman and horseback rider. His body can perform amazing feats of athleticism. So just super keen dude. All right, Lazarus Lane was nearly killed after he tried to stop bank robbers in 1866. Left comatose by a bolt of lightning, he hovered near death until an Apache shaman named Wise Owl healed him. Hold on, did we...
What?
He was nearly killed after he tried to stop bank robbers in 1866. Left comatose by a bolt of lightning. It makes it sound like the robbers almost killed him, but now it sounds like he was trying to and just God went no.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got injured. I would kind of like to read that issue now. It's going to be... All right. Lane awoke from his coma believing his spirit had split in two. One, Lane's husk. He's got issues. Leave him in the hospital. One, Lane's husk. The other, a supernatural being. His spirit began roaming the frontier as El-Diablo, meting out justice with fists, whip, or 6-gun. That's a weird way to phrase that. 6 years later, an odd assortment of gunslingers were hired by Otto Van Hammer and Jason Blood to free the time-lost Earth Elemental Swamp Thing contained by Wise Owl. When Wise Owl was killed, the long catatonic Lane awoke and El-Diablo ceased to exist. And then over a century later, we have another guy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll have to go.
This is the story of a man who needed to remain in the hospital.
Well, he did remain in the hospital. Like
much longer than he did, it sounded
well,
like.
no, look, on the internet here, on Wikipedia, it says his body is in a coma. And there's a spirit version of him that rides around as El-Diablo beating the fuck out of people. And then when the group killed Wise Owl, Lane's comatose body woke up, and El-Diablo vanished forever.
Nothing like getting your ass beat by an astral projection.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. I have heard that
Do
before.
it, Diablo.
Where have I seen him?
Do it, Diablo.
I've run across that story some damn where. Where, yeah, he's a body. I otherwise don't know really what this... It looks like he just started... Like, his spirit guy's great, but otherwise he just sort of got his ass kicked one time and
I mean, he was nearly killed, and then lightning hit the fucker. Like, what do you want him to do, man? Jesus Christ.
I still want to know if that was one in the same event.
You got some fucking expectations of your comic book heroes. Christ.
I do have weird standards. I apologize.
Even Eastwood didn't survive the beating that he took in High Plains Drifter, you know?
Of course, anyone with a completely coherent view of their comics is possibly a madman anyway. So. I think I distrust that man less than someone with muddled opinions.
All right. Well, that's fine.
There's a logic to it. All right, you will have to help me out with Hugo Danner if you have anything. I'm not surprised to see that this book has nothing about what looks to be a pugilist from the late 1800s America.
Yeah, it's just a guy, shirtless guy. Look at this. So here's probably why.
Just looks like a Gangs of New York era level boxer.
Yeah, his publisher. This is okay. So I'm going to say this. I think he's going to be one of the ones that Gunn
we see.
Yeah, and here's why.
Okay.
It's a weird fucking pick, my friend. It is a weird fucking pick. This is a guy whose first appearance was in a novel called Gladiator in 1930. All right. And his publisher was Alfred A. Knopp, and then he went to Marvel Comics, then Wildstorm Comics, and now he's in a property of DC. Weird ass character. He's born in the late 19th century with superhuman abilities via prenatal chemical experimentation. Danner tries to use his powers for good, making him a precursor of the superhero. However, Danner grows disillusioned with his inability to find a permanent outlet for his great strength and dies frustrated.
Just dies of frustration?
I guess so.
It's like a 1950s television stereotype?
Mm-hmm. It says, apart from Wiley's novel, the character also appeared in a feature film and publications by Marvel and DC Comics. Comedic actor Joe E. Brown played him in the 1938 movie adaptation of the book. Decades later, the character starred in an adaptation titled Man God in Marvel's black and white comics magazine, Marvel Preview number 9. of 1976. He next appeared in DC's standard color comic book Young All-Stars in 1988 and 89 as the estranged father of an illegitimate son named Iron Monroe. In 2005, he returned to the comic book miniseries Legend, published by the DC imprint Wildstorm. Here, Danner in the late 1960s fights as a U.S. Army super soldier in the Vietnam War rather than as a super legionnaire in World War I. Like,
so just a name people use when they need a dude with a couple of powers?
it's fucking real weird, man.
So it's a pretty bizarre history. It looks like a sketch pad.
But, like, I would not even include him in the pantheon. Like, I would not, like, if it had that been me, I would have no real reason to put him anywhere in the DCU. That's why I think Gunn has a particular weird thing about this guy, and he's going to have him somewhere.
So you think it's suspicious?
I say it's highly suspicious.
What were his powers again?
Let's go back up here. Even during his early years, Danner displays superhuman strength. He demolishes his wooden crib as a newborn, saves a man's life by lifting a 2-ton supply wagon at 6 years old, and uproots entire trees at 10. He progressively grows stronger as he gets older. During his 20s, he can stop and kill a charging bull with a single punch, bend a railroad rail, lift a 75mm howitzer cannon single-handedly, lift a car and its driver single-handedly, rip open a 5-foot thick bank vault, and easily catch a falling 8,000-pound block of stone. His physical strength extends to his legs, allowing him to leap great heights and distances. At age 10, he can leap 40 feet into the air and run faster than a train. During his freshman year in college, he easily breaks a world track record, though he actually doesn't run at his full speed. While in the service of the French Foreign Legion in World War I, he traverses 37 miles round trip in just 30 minutes, a speed of about 148 miles per hour, all while carrying 2,000 pounds of food, water, and ammunition for his unit. Despite his great strength, he is still susceptible to fatigue. I love it. He can do all this shit. He's just like, I'm a bit tired today.
Nap.
He first learns of his body's superior resistance to physical injury during the war. Bullets and bayonets glance off of his skin.
Okay, that does it. So this is just
he's
the
Superman.
Original Superman.
The original Superman.
That's there.
He believes he can even survive a plane crash. The only weaponry capable of penetrating his skin at the time are the largest artillery shells, although he still feels the effects of the elements, sweating under the heat of the sun and freezing during winter. Danner's only vulnerability is lightning, which ultimately kills him.
So he's just invulnerable except for stuff that would make him a bit of a whiny cunt.
Well, you know, what's interesting is it says this, lightning kills him, but then earlier in the article it said he died of frustration.
Frustrated by the lightning's inability to harm him. It's just so embarrassed for it that he just died on its behalf.
Yeah. Danner's bodily tissues have a somewhat greater density than those of a normal human being. Though he has an athletic build, his strength is far greater than what his frame would naturally allow. People guess him to be 155 pounds, but he actually weighs 211. Oh. During his stint as a sailor, he goes pearl diving with the natives of Cristobal and is able to dive deeper and stay under longer because of his density. His body can heal damaged tissue much faster and more extensively than an ordinary human can. He collapses from exhaustion and wounds sustained from artillery shells after he goes berserk against the Germans to avenge a friend's death. When he wakes up in an army hospital, he finds his wounds have healed without the necessity of a single stitch. Now, long periods of comatose sleep, up to 20 hours, and the consuming of huge meals also aid in his regenerative process.
There's so many proto-characters in this guy's description, though.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't... Well, dude, I mean, this was...
Some Flash tropes, a couple of Wolverine tropes in there for no good reason.
I mean...
Well, I guess no good reason. He was Marvel, too. He's been across... Well, there's another option. He's the Amalgam character.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he came out in 1930... in Gladiator, in this novel Gladiator. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, man, I wonder if Gunn's going to do something like, I don't know, Proto-Krypton or something. Like, maybe someone, like, from Krypton flees and, has a child here on Earth.
Yeah.
And they keep it a secret or something, like, because that's a pretty damn close Superman character.
It it's a character though that's in an era that's past. So let's see. He would have been in what? I want to say this is like the 1750-ish area based on some of the characters here.
It could, yeah.
Well, there's a plane just above the next one, so I guess 1901 minimally. But like, anyway, that era is going to be like just before 1900s, and I guess I got to go back at least for 17 something for this lady on the left. Mm-hmm. But like, you just need a character back there that had some weird powers and like a primal form of meta that was stronger, but you didn't right know what to do with yet. Like maybe maybe it's just that the myth of something that powerful existed before. Mm-hmm. Or 5 years from now, for some reason, Hugo Danner is a household name.
Mm-hmm. You notice that
played by Chris Pratt or some shit.
Okay, so did you notice that the meteor is falling onto Super Chief or above Super Chief's head in the mural?
I did not, but that makes sense.
And above Hugo lightning. Danner, there's lightning. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. We didn't miss any of these. Okay, that's the only two that like that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
A fine point on both. All right, let's take a little break if we will, and then.
Okay, we'll get into some more.
Yep.
It's a big day.
It is.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. And let's continue on with our list. The Ghost of Flanders. You don't have this in your book.
No.
Do you?
No. Looked it up in the break. No such luck.
So you need me.
I do. I do indeed. Mm-hmm.
For I am the only one who has access to the internet.
Mm-hmm. My internet's full of book. Just have the one sitting on top of the internet right now.
Join our Patreon, patreon.com/DC on screen, so that Jason, too, can afford to have the internet.
Mm-hmm. Right now we have to split it, and I didn't get a big enough chunk this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so Ghost of Flanders, Rip Graves supposedly died in the Battle of Marne in the First World War. Rip Graves operated in the Second World War as a masked superhero from a crypt beneath the tomb of the unknown soldier. He secretly and single-handedly excavated and built this sub-crypt base. The Ghost of Flanders used a red poppy as his trademark, commemorating the Second Battle of Ypres on Flanders Fields. Mm. Hand-to-hand combat, tactical analysis, aviation, investigation, and throwing are his abilities.
Aviation. So we got the plane up here. Gotcha. And throwing. Just hell of a thrower.
Yeah, hell of a thrower, man. Hell of a thrower.
I get it. I identify as a thrower as well. I understand.
Yeah. Now, that was the Quality Comics version of the character. I don't know how different he is. Over on the DC page, it says he's a masked superhero who operates during World War II. Rip Graves was an American soldier who had been reported dead at Flanders, an exceptionally bloody sight at World War I. In reality, Graves had actually survived, and when he eventually returned to the United States, found that he had been honored as an unknown soldier at the tomb in Washington, D.C. Instead of reclaiming his civilian life, he made the odd decision even the Wikipedia was like, this is fucked up. To take up residence beneath the unknown soldier crypt and battle in secret for his country while wearing a Brody-style helmet and patriotic chest plate.
Look, it's only right. It's only an odd decision because he was born in the wrong time. This man just didn't have goth at his disposal.
Right.
I wish he had. I wish he lived in an Ozzy Osbourne world,
Well, don't we all?
Yeah. He would have fit in so well. Look at all of his scheme, his branding. Rip Graves. Jesus Christ. He just stood in a graveyard and went, what can I use?
R.I.P. That's my name, motherfucker.
Yeah. What's the squirrel named? Sepulchrum.
The enemies of the U.S. will rest in peace. Yeah. As the unknown soldier rests in power.
Yeah. He wants to be incredibly punk rock, but just nothing at his disposal to do it with in any real way.
Unfortunately, I can't
language.
Rest in power. I must wrestle in power. Sir, that starts with a W. Fuck off!
Yeah.
College boy.
That's how I spell it. Rip. Rip Graves.
Oh,
God.
All right. Sandman.
What a dumb ass. Okay.
Me? Yes, I agree. Jesus Christ. That's
all of us.
Horrible.
I am very proud of this because I flipped right to Sandman 1.
Nice.
Wesley Dodds. Yeah.
Wesley Dodds.
Yeah. Adventure Comics number 40, 1939. Yeah, I didn't know he's been around a while.
Yeah.
He is one of those guys. Deceased hero, as they all are. Socialite. I don't know why that's his occupation. Socialite and crime fighter.
Now, hold on. Not all of them are deceased. Some of them.
Just the Wesley Dodds version.
Some of them live long enough to see themselves become the villain.
Oh, yeah, those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? Or the lady under the bell or whatever.
Right.
All right, so 5'11", 210, stocky, like our new guy whose name I've already forgotten.
Uh-huh.
Socialite and crime fighter, based in New York City. I suppose that's why we've got a cityscape behind him. Mm-hmm. Special powers: arsenal of gas weapons, including gas gun, later wielded wire poon gun for climbing or snaring foes. Dear God, that's a word.
Uh-huh.
I love it so much. I do like his little the thready gas thing they did with the tile work here. Mm-hmm. That was wonderful. All right, so his thing: prophetic nightmarish dreams induced Wesley Dodds to take up the cloak, gas mask, and tranquilizing gas gun of the Sandman to thwart the evils of the waking world. The Sandman's first quarry was the Phantom of the Fair, a villain stalking the 1939 New York World's Fair. Everything fucking happened at a World's Fair at some point.
It did.
In American history, dude.
It did.
Through his role as the Sandman, Dodds met and fell in love with Dion Belmont, who would eventually share his secret and his life. The Sandman joined the Justice Society of America as a founding member and served the wartime All-Star Squadron, alongside his youthful partner, Sandy Hawkins, Belmont's nephew, see Sand, apparently that's a guy, trading cloak and fedora for a more colorful costume befitting the mystery men of the time. Dodds kept up the good fight for decades thereafter until he committed suicide to prevent the sorcerer Mordru, the Dark Lord, from mining his mind to learn the location of the reincarnated Dr. Fate. Yeah, again, one hell of an end. I guess pictured one, Sharp's detective's mind and dreams that can foretell the future, wield a gas gun that puts victims to sleep.
Yeah.
It does not give us here how he came upon all of this technology. I know nothing of his history when it comes down to the nuts and bolts like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was looking on Wikipedia, and it just said the same thing you just said, but then it's also said, in the early days, he drove a black 1938 Plymouth Coupe. Which is also
the plot, but they did
enhanced.
Fit in this. Of course, it's enhanced
with various types to aid Dodds in his crusade against crime. Yeah.
You had to have a souped-up car back then. It was the Green Hornet days too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we have next? I'll check for Amazing Man.
Sure, check for Amazing Man.
Let's go to the front.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. I did flip to All-Star Squadron. That's fitting.
You did.
Oh, I was one page off Amazing Man. Good God. All right. Wait. Number 1 or 2. All right. This. Let me look at this picture here.
Well, let's see. There's Amazing.
I just got William Everett or his grandson is what I'm looking at.
That's fine. Yeah.
This, I guess, could be either. No, I mean this is probably number 1, right? All right. So this guy, first guy was based in 1936. Is his part of his story. So Amazing Man number 1 starts showing up in 83 in All-Star Squadron comics. William Everett, based in New York City as well. I guess that's why he's by the same mural.
Mm-hmm.
Occupation adventurer. Dear God. Just look at this man's resume. He calls himself Amazing Man. He's adventurer. Love it. 6'1", 185 pounds. Capable of transforming himself into a living, breathing facsimile of any material that he touched. Later, his powers were altered, and he was instead able to magnetically attract or repel objects with his hands. That is a hell of an alteration. A is for alter now. Will Everett was a multi-medal winner in the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Despite the acclaim, the young African-American, a constant target of racism, was unable to get work and became a janitor for Dr. Terry Curtis. Everett was kidnapped by the Ultra-Humanite and subjected to a power barrage from an invention of Curtis's. Everett gained superpowers and became Amazing Man. Initially blackmailed into working for the Ultra-Humanite, Amazing Man eventually turned on the villain and defeated him. Amazing Man then joined the All-Star Squadron, fighting Axis tyranny during World War II. Everett's matter-mimicking powers were later replaced with magnetic ones. Everett died of cancer decades later. I kind of want more details. You don't see a power shift like that anywhere else.
Yeah.
That'd be entirely unique.
Now, the original character from the 1930s, who appears to be a white dude, influenced the creation and origin of Charlton Comics, the 1960s superhero Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt, as well as Marvel Comics' Iron Fist character in the 1970s, and the DC Comics hero of the same name.
Gotcha.
So, but I was wondering, because he does, like, the DC version, who was a black guy, came about in the 83, but the Amazing Man they have on the mural is in, like, the 1940s era, which is where the 1930s, 1940s era with Sandman, so they might be meshing the two. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's just what I'm wondering, if that's what they're doing.
Could be. He is also... There's going to be a few people here, but obviously that's just a weird pick. I don't know why you grabbed this guy. What part of the story did you want me to look at here? Mm-hmm. But I don't think I'm going to really get anywhere with him.
That's also like, well, that's one of the reasons that, like, I'm kind of noticing him. His placement in the timeline seems to indicate this is also someone who, like, came from other comics. They came from Centaur Publications. Also had, like, a stint in Malibu Comics in the 90s, for Christ's sake. And he was a white dude. So this version of, like, the original version of Amazing Man, who influenced all this other shit from Marvel and DC, went on to Malibu and had a version. Had a black version in DC in the 80s, but the black DC version, that would be the one they have access to, shows up in the, like, 30s and 40s era between Sandman and Zatara, like, proper Justice Society version or timeline. So I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, what it do, Gunn?
Yeah, not sure.
What are you doing
here?
What are you doing?
And in this thing, there's no back and forth at all. And there's two versions in here. It's just basically a 60-year difference, and they both basically, it looks like two different versions of a younger black guy than the first one.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna call that this is gonna be something we see.
I could say. I feel like the weirder ones, as far as like I've never heard of this guy and I have no idea what you're doing with him on this wall things, are going to be the ones that we pull anyway. We're excited for a season 2 of Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's where Gunn shines anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, yeah, we'll be fine. I'll move on to Zatara here. By the way, there's a character next to him named Zuggernaut that looks fantastic. Zatara, real name Giovanni Jean Zatara, stage magician and adventurer. Again, occupation, love it. 5'11", 170. So limitless magic enabled by speaking his spells backwards. Merely an average fighter who preferred sleight of hand over hand-to-hand combat. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. John Zatara was a stage magician at age 19. However, when he read the lost journals of Leonardo da Vinci, his reputed ancestor, he discovered that the true secrets of sorcery. By uttering his spells backwards, he could perform real magic. As his fame grew, Zatara also became a crime fighter, serving with the All-Star Squadron during World War II. Starting to see that name a lot right now. While traveling in Turkey, Zatara met and married the enigmatic Sandella. Sandella gave birth to Zatara's daughter, Zatanna, and seemingly died not long after. While raising Zatanna alone, Zatara battled Allura, an evil elemental who cursed father and daughter with a spell prohibiting either from seeing the other, lest both be struck dead. Well, that's harsh. It took Zatara years to lift the curse and be reunited with his daughter.
Uh-huh. So, hey, you do remember that from Young Justice, though, right?
Not precisely.
There's like a version of that where he's like inside of fucking, like he basically sacrificed himself to Dr. Fate. And every once in a while, Zatanna can come and visit him.
Oh, okay.
And talk to her father.
Yeah. Well, they've done a similar thing. He had to martyr himself recently, like a few years back in the Justice League Dark Run they were doing, which I think has wrapped now. I think it wrapped up at some point. It had its own private run. It came in and out of the back pages kind of thing. And somewhere in that, I think I saw him set on fire by the Upside Down Man.
Mm-hmm. Most heroic thing he ever did was Batman the Animated Series, where he left a young Bruce with his hot daughter and went, "Good night, children," knowing they was gonna fuck, knowing it. That is a cool dad.
Brave man. Brave man. It's
That's terrible.
It's time that comes for us all. We don't know how much grace we'll have at that moment.
Yeah.
Zatara retired from the stage in superheroics, but answered the call to action when a primordial shadow creature from Earth's prehistory threatened to tear both heaven and earth asunder. Alongside Warlock, John Constantine, Zatanna, and a circle of several other sorcerers, Zatara engaged in a seance to help the Swamp Thing battle the creature. When the creature attempted to destroy Zatanna, Zatara cast a spell to save her from its staggering power. He died in Zatanna's place, the ancient darkness causing the Master Magician to spontaneously combust, incinerating him before the eyes of all in attendance. Now, that incineration was several years before the incineration I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
The one I was talking about was a fresh new incineration.
Yeah. I feel like every incineration is really just a now you see me, now you don't kind of trick.
Yeah, been a little. Well, so he was, in this case, when I was reading it, killed by fire by the greatest, threat that magic's ever seen. Much like the other time he died by fire by the greatest threat that the magic world had ever seen at that time. There's a pattern.
Yeah. He's got a real Buffy the Vampire Slayer complex here.
Yeah, it's how things work. I'm not...
Like, all right, so we need someone to die to showcase the stakes of our massive event series. I know, you with the mustache and top hat.
Well, usually you reach for a flash at these times. If you're fresh out of flashes, though.
Not if you're doing Justice League Dark,
No, yeah. If you're in the magic world, you grab Zatanna's bloodline and you light one on fire. That's what you do.
Right.
This is how we handle things.
Mr. Mustache, come with me. No, please, not again.
Yeah. I don't know what his purple ball is in the picture.
What about a Swamp Thing? No, we're not. We're very worried about... Jesus. The Earth is getting hotter, okay? We can't just kill a Swamp Thing.
I mean, there's a point where you just transition from needing him to solve the problem to needing him to shut up because you can't anymore and you might as well be quiet. At any stage, he is at risk. All right.
They've always got their eye on Zatara.
Liberty Belle, if we head to and not the Belle who crushed our earlier hero by a very similar name. This one is from 1942, Boy Commandos #1.
Yeah.
All right. Libby Belle Lawrence, occupation journalist and broadcaster. Cool. Real jobs. Love it. New York City based, 5'6", 140. Hair white. Was blonde. Can project sonic blast from her hands, gain super strength when the Liberty Bell is rung. Okay.
That's how I got that crack in it.
Yeah, that is. And the bell's right there. So that is a very particular set of things. Why is she based in New York City? Was the Liberty Bell always up there? I thought we keep that thing in like Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was in Philadelphia.
It's it's not in New York anymore. Was it there originally? I don't know our history. All right. I thought there were questions about the Revolutionary War earlier. I'm deeply confused about the flag as well. All right. So Libby Lawrence is the descendant of the Revolutionary War heroine Miss Liberty. Was that?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, that was her? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, a champion athlete in school when her father was killed in 1939 by Nazis in Poland. Libby escaped by swimming the English Channel, becoming an international celebrity. Libby gained superpowers through a mystic link to Liberty Bell and became Liberty Bell with an E in this spelling. A founder member of the All-Star Squadron. After being irradiated by one of the Nazi Baron Blitzkrieg's weapons, Liberty Bell gained her sonic powers. She married fellow crime fighter Johnny Quick, and their daughter Jessie later became the hero Jessie Quick. Jessie became the new Liberty Bell following the Infinite Crisis. She serves as a member of the Justice Society of America alongside her new husband, Rick Tyler. Iron Man 2. This is a heavy-hitting set of names following this lady.
Yeah, man. That's why I think that's going to be some of the people we see.
You think she's going to be a very important piece of history here.
You gonna show me Miss Liberty and her daughter who connects to some flashes? Fuck.
I like it. I would like the idea to be that the bell is imbued with the spirit of the mom who it killed. Yeah. When it crushed. Who we got next? We got Bullet People.
Bullet Man, yeah. Bullet People.
There's two Bullet persons.
I know.
Did you have anything else on the Liberty Descendants?
Oh, nah. I mean, you've got some connections to some speedsters, essentially. Right. Which I lazily call flashes.
Yeah, of course. Flish for plural.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot. Whatever. They could do so much. They could do so much or so little. They really could just throw them up on a mural and be like, "Yeah, it's part of the background. We're not going to talk about it, but
they're back there." All right. So in mural terms, we've passed the halfway mark of the radius part. So there's a battleship in the background in the ocean. I guess it pertains to these two because I don't know what Max Mercury has to do with it. He's Max Mercury proper now. Mm-hmm. We have a pretty good description of both these people. I'll try to speed through. So retired hero James Barr shows up in 1940. They have separate bios though. Brilliant to begin with. His special powers start with that. Brilliant to begin with. The Miracle variation permanently increased his physical size, strength, and mental abilities, and excellent flower and tactician. All right, so Miracle's in the cards here. Cool. Jim Barr, son of the slain Fawcett police officer, developed a variant of Hawkman's Thanagarian nth metal and Arrowman's Miracle's steroid compound and took flight as Bulletman. He joined the wave of costume adventures that kept the U.S.'s city safe during World War II. He was soon accompanied by his girlfriend, Susan Kent, who became Bulletgirl. Bulletman was the first American hero targeted by Captain Nazi. He later teamed up with Starman to stop a Nazi incursion into Alaska. There, the heroes encountered a scouting expedition by Venetian worms, that was only curtailed by the intervention of Green Lantern Abin Sur. After the war, Jim and Susan married and settled down in Fawcett City, where Jim built a merchandising empire based on Bulletman. When Barr was accused of having committed treason in 1942, Captain Marvel and Starman the Sixth cleared the veteran's name. Good God, they're sixth.
Yeah.
This is again just I see one of the battleships in the background. Very much a wartime history again. We can run this straight into Bulletgirl. This is 1 and 2. I don't know what one we're gonna go. So Deanna Barr and Susan Kent. I honestly don't know which one would be more relevant here. Susan Kent, we got based in Fawcett City, an excellent flyer. It says we got Deanna Barr, Army trained marksman, pilot, and hand-to-hand combatant. So, story for both of them. Susan Kent was sure there was something strange about her boyfriend, Jim Barr. Okay. Eventually, she learned his secret. He was the superhero Bulletman. Susan insisted on accompanying him as Bulletgirl. Together, they battled many villains during World War II. After the war, Jim and Susan were married, and they retired from costume crime fighting in the mid-1950s. There was a daughter, Deanna, and made a comfortable home in Fawcett City. After Susan died from unexplained causes, Deanna followed in their footsteps as Windshear. After stealing her mother's Bulletgirl outfit, Jim Barr returned to action one final time, teaming with his daughter to save Billy Batson. Mary Bromfield, all right, the Marvels, just to save all the Marvels.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know which one they're going to do. I mean, this just looks like, I don't know, it could be either of those. I have no idea what we get up to as far as which one they'd be doing here. Second last name Kent we've seen.
Right. Well, hey, in the original comic, the first appearance, I think, of Harvey Dent, they called him Harvey Kent, and they changed it.
Well,
subsequently,
there is some insinuation apparently of the Silent Knight character being an ancestor, right? So, like a Clark Kent ancestor.
Maybe
that was a speculation that is found in the books, but like there, two Kents just strikes me as a bit odd for it to appear in a history at like a first and a second and a midpoint.
Yeah.
Who does that leave us? TNT and Dyna-Mite?
I had like a horrible BVS thought.
What?
Just like, it's like a hero, this like drowned horseman.
Jesus.
Because Jonathan Kent being like, while I eat my hero cake, the horse is drowned.
Yeah.
It's like that's his name, Hero Cake. The man who eats hero cake while horses drown.
We're just never going to be able to get past hero cake in a way.
No. I sat there and laughed in the theater. Wasn't supposed to, but I did. And I like BVS. Still sat there and laughed my dick off at hero
one
cake.
of the beats where it was gotta laugh. I'll be damned.
I'm just like sitting there laughing like, Jesus Christ, of course this Jonathan Kent like fucking thinks like, man, maybe you shouldn't have saved him.
Yeah.
He's seen some shit.
Cake in 75 years or 45 years.
He's seen some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving
TNT and Dan the Dyna-Mite.
Okay.
First appearance number 5, World's Finest Comics, 1942. All right, we got status heroes. Real names, TNT, Thomas N. Thomas, of course. And Dyna-Mite, Daniel Dunbar. Occupation, high school teacher, high school student.
That sounds
perfectly
terrible.
safe. That's definitely going to code. New York City, 5'11", 5'6"-ish. Of course, he's smaller because he's a minor, you asshole. Special powers and abilities.
We're not mad at Batman, who's just been homeschooling the fuck out of Dick Grayson and all of his quote-unquote sons.
I know. It still seems like a dick move there. Seems like he's putting more effort into it. This one just kind of reads as high school teacher and duty took out with him. Like, this feels more insane.
Hey, hold on now. I only adopt these kids when they're grown adults.
Yeah, true. This actually,
I string them along emotionally.
Speaking
up until
of Gunn,
they're about 25, I say, Ward. They are my youthful ward.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At 25 until the resentment grows into me, and which time I call them a man and kick them out.
But also show them the adoption papers.
Right. Because
You're
do love
finally
them.
my son.
I can only love them when they're far away and don't trust me anymore. These guys, by the way, do have a very James Gunny super vibe to them in a way, my opinion. And this starts off, the bio starts off, school teacher Thomas N. Tex Thomas and his student Daniel Dunbar accidentally discovered a derivative of 27QRX and assumed the costume identities of TNT and Dyna-Mite. Good God, be the adult. Both served in... Oh, there's a lot of, Your Honor. I understand. Both served in the All-Star Squadron with distinction for several months. In April 1942, TNT was killed in Colorado by Guadra the Valkyrie, who was part of Axis America. The traumatized Dyna-Mite was rescued by Iron Munro, and they in part formed a subgroup of the All-Star Squadron, the Young All-Stars. Okay, in Uruguay, in South America, the paths of Iron Munro and Dyna-Mite crossed again as Hugo Danner. Oh. And the Sons of Dawn attacked. Well, that's a crossover I was not expecting.
Okay.
Dunbar's life remained unknown until he next turned up. As a member of Old Justice, costume survivors of the early heroic era who filled today's youth should not be exposed to such dangers. They took on Young Justice, but learned their remains need to train those with special abilities. God, that's weird. I don't know what to do with the crossover. Attacked by Hugo Danner?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
But whatever. That definitely feels like they're going to be involved in the new universe for real. Something's going to be there. Yeah,
and then it sounds a little bit like even in... All right, so for all of my giving him shit for being a teacher, apparently I guess the fourth wall is giving him shit too. So he seems to be a morality play about why were you putting this kid in danger who you've now traumatized. Mm-hmm. So I guess he goes on to want to not traumatize kids by doing that to them.
And Bruce Wayne is like over here jerking off to the first half of the history and not reading the rest.
Right. He just, the back couple pages were torn out of that book. Got a little distracted toward the end.
No, Your Honor. I don't want to fuck children. I just want to put them in danger.
Right. Perfectly kosher, I promise.
Batman.
Yeah.
Well, we've all seen how this worked out for TNT and Dyna-Mite.
I mean, we're only usually a law comer, give or take, away from putting to work when they're 12. So, like, yeah, you know.
We're deeply concerned he might not become a Dyna-Man.
Yeah, true. Look, to my earlier instinct, I'm just saying there is some merit to just saying, look. All children are in danger. At least Bruce is really training this one.
Right.
I certainly should have died more times than I can count.
Doesn't seem like Dyna-Mite and TNT did any kind of real training. Maybe they did. No,
it sounds like they found some silly costumes, and one fit both of them, and they got caught up in the moment. Next thing you know, they're on the All-Star Squadron, and one of them's dead.
Yeah. As happens.
We've all been there, or wished we had been there.
Yeah. By the way, you brought up, a cool looking guy, Zuggernaut.
Yeah.
You do remember we did a comic Castaways on that
was he
guy,
one
right?
of them? Oh,
yeah.
Good.
He's basically a ripoff of the alien xenomorph, and except he's purple, and he was a Firestorm villain. Yeah, we did one on that.
That's fantastic. So there's another. I'm back to Plasmus is on this other page, and then there's another guy up here called Phobos who looks hilarious. Hair flaming red. I don't know.
Yeah. Phobos is I think was a
god of fear.
Well,
it says
Phobos,
occupation, god of fear.
Was it Phobos a moon of Mars?
Oh, probably. It's got faux in it, so they're going to do something like that, or faux in it. So, this one. So Phantom Lady was next, right? I have no idea which one this one is. This little packet over here just says Phantom Lady 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, Phobos is a moon of Mars, by the way. I had to look it up. Sadly, I don't know that because I know anything other than C-Lab 2021.
Look, information makes it how it makes it, man.
Where Captain Murphy decides that they are not underwater. They are on the sacred red planet Mars. Mm-hmm. Demands that Ares, god of Mars,
right,
not war, looks unfavorably upon Quinn and Debbie's coupling, and then he oh God, what does he do? He says he renames Stormy and fucking Eric Estrada, whatever his name was, as Sir Demos and Sir Phobos.
Oh, good God.
Knights of Mars, beater of ass. And he hands them a giant bat.
Of course. Of course.
And I was like, why Phobos and Deimos? And I looked it up. I was like, oh, Mars. Gotcha.
Well,
moons of Mars.
Here, I'll send you the picture of Phobos, just so you have him.
Sure.
He's one we should cover sometime. I also sent you a picture of Phantom Lady because it's the thirstiest thing in this entire book somehow.
Sure.
Hilariously oversexed. It looks like every early 80s music video stereotype rolled into one.
Oh, that is an Adam Hughes drawing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, he looks like he was sitting in a Grand Prix when he drew this. Yeah.
I knew before I ever even saw the actual drawing, I saw the pose and went, that's Adam Hughes.
That's Adam. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna. There's a lot to condense. I mean, Sandra Knight, Delilah D. Taylor, Stormy Knight. Do we know which one's in this picture exactly?
She looks like she's in. Well, she's with the Atomic Knight, so I'm gonna say somewhere in the 70s or 80s.
Okay. I mean, it's a short description. I'll just do all of them, I guess.
Notice that the buildings behind her are
quite toppled,
disintegrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
also. Why do we have the U.S. Capitol behind one of them? I
don't know. Might be an all-star squadron kind of situation
where they meet, because we've definitely seen that name. We've met most of the all-star squadron at this point.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam's just chilling in one of the buildings in the background, probably.
Yeah, masturbating.
Yeah,
just like Bruce,
just enjoying the scenery. I don't know about the destroyed buildings. We'll have to see about that. This one will say in 1939. No, wait. I'll give you a quick thing. In the special powers, I don't know which one. One of them, blackout ray wrist device. Mm-hmm. She has a wrist device. So, okay. 2, bracelet mounted taser. Costume circuitry defeats electronic surveillance. Can project holograms of herself. None of that looks like an option off what we got, but we do have a costume on that. We have a bracelet still. Blacklight bands can bend space and time as well as open dimensional portals. I do not feel like Gunn wants that, but that building does look destroyed. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that could be from the dude we're about to cover.
Could be.
Could be from Atomic Knight. We'll have to see. Her story, real quick. Okay.
By the way, can I just say, for someone who doesn't like time travel, a lot of these motherfuckers are time travelers. Just saying.
Like, yeah.
Again, though, and shit, I'm just saying. Like,
we're flattening it into the phrase "don't like." I do feel like in context, it's more that like there are certain types of storylines that he's more or less comfortable writing around.
Yeah, I think he's comfortable other people doing it.
Yeah. He's going to ship that off and say like, "Cool, that works for me." This series of ladies bio real quick because it's gonna blend, and I don't know which one we're dealing with. All right, in 1939, Sandra Knight foiled the kidnap of her. This book has some stuff. All right, Sandra Knight foiled the kidnap of her father, a U.S. senator, on the steps of the Capitol building. Scientist Abraham Davis was so impressed by her bravery, he gave her a special device, a blacklight projector. Sandra became the crime fighter Phantom Lady. All right, so that makes a lot more sense. We're going to probably deal with the broken building in a second. Phantom Lady joined the All-Star Squadron, then the Freedom Fighters, and the government agency Agent 1. Decades later, she opened a finishing school, the University Notre Dame des Ombres in Paris. Dee Tyler, the second Phantom Lady, served in the role until murdered by Deathstroke during the Infinite Crisis. Third Phantom Lady is Stormy Knight, a spoiled society girl and secret confidences who struggles with depression and substance abuse. Stormy is a member of Uncle Sam's newest Freedom Fighters. All right, we're going to be dealing with the first one. The second one looks like it was put down pretty quickly, and the third one looks like they might be struggling to figure out what to do with that character.
Yeah.
Let me see what we got for Atomic Knight. It's quite a heavy book. It's genuinely not easy to not just have a bunch of flopping sounds in the back. There we go. Right to Atomic Knight. Cool. So we got Strange Adventures 117 back in June 1960. Gardner Grail. Base is Star Labs. And is that in Alexandria, Virginia? Anyway. I love these occupations. Occupation, protector.
Yeah.
He looks like it. 6'1", 189 pounds. Battle suit enables Grail to imprison enemies in a status field. Attached weapon fires powerful bursts of heat or cold. Suit's solar power cells operate even in the reduced light of a nuclear winter. Grail is courageous with some precognitive powers. Good God. He's underused. Star Labs needed a test subject as they made a contingencies for a nuclear holocaust. They chose Army Sergeant Gardner Grail, who believed atomic weapons gave war a bad name. When the would-be universe conqueror Agamemnon threatened the planet Ron, Grail was urged to suit up in the lab's prototype armor. He served as one of the 7 soldiers of victory, taking the name of original member Shining Knight. Grail later tested the armor within a virtual reality that went awry and needed aid from Superman. Okay. Grail's, presumably too early in our story for Superman. Grail's long time in sensory deprivation allowed his mind to develop beyond normal limits, and he predicted many future crises. He took the name Atomic Knight and resolved to help protect the world. Grail currently operates out of the ruins of Bloodhaven, while another version of the Atomic Knights exists on Earth-17. So he's fizzled into sort of borderline non-existence in any books I've been reading.
Yeah. But importantly, his whole shtick is like basically time travel, like seeing atomic futures and shit, and having to deal with World War III and whatnot. Like, I don't just. How do you do that? How do you even do that? Do you just throw him on a wall and be like, "Yep, he was a part of it, but we're never touching time travel"? No, you don't.
You're just gonna have other people have it.
You don't.
I see a Superman in there. I'm just gonna assume Hugo Danner came to save him in this timeline, maybe. Because this would be a little earlier for Superman's appearance in the, he appears in 2022 in this timeline. So who we got next? Freedom Beast?
Yeah.
All right. After what would have been described as an auspicious beginning, the book is really, really coming through on these names now.
Yeah.
Let's see how she holds up. We are in the Freedom Fighters, Freedom Beast. All right, we got you, buddy. All right, Freedom Beast and Animal Man number 13, July 1989.
I guess I never made it to Titans. I never made it to him being in Titans on HBO. Oh, the 4th season. Yeah.
Is he?
Freedom Beast. Yeah. You just said you watched it.
I did, but that doesn't mean I remember it.
He's created by Grant Morrison, our old buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that from the Animal Man part, which means I've read that somewhere in there. But again, that happened very quickly. I don't recollect it. I failed myself. Dominique Mdawe, I'm gonna guess Mndawe. Occupation adventurer. God, way too many of those. Base is Cape Town, South Africa, 62191. Magical helmet and potent elixir enable him to fuse 2 animals into a single creature and command it to do his bidding for a short time. A strange rainwater elixir heightens his strength and 5 senses to a superhuman level. So, his brief descriptor. Chosen by retiring Mike Maxwell to carry on the heroic mission of the Bwana Beast, Maxwell's adventuring alter ego, reporter and political activist Dominique Mdawe, renamed himself Freedom Beast and used his new superpowers to help dismantle apartheid in South Africa. Freedom Beast now fights to end violence and suffering throughout the African continent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is no difference between this character and Buona Beast as I know him. Is there? Like, this is just the passing of the mantle kind of situation?
Yeah, it seems like it. And
I only know Buona Beast from Brave and the Bold.
He was in Day of Vengeance Infinite Crisis, in which he is possessed by rage, one of the 7 deadly sins.
That sounds like the kind of thing that I've run across in Infinite Crisis, but it all happens so damn quickly that I have no fucking recollection of that.
Yeah. In Final Crisis, he battled Gorilla Grodd in Gorilla City.
Mm-hmm.
In Justice League Cry for Justice, Freedom Beast is killed by minions of Prometheus, and Kongorilla resigns from the Justice League to find a successor. However, he is resurrected in the New 52 continuity reboot.
Of course.
So, yeah, he's around, and, I would guess that he's one that we're going to see somewhere.
Yeah,
in live action.
I could guess as much.
I mean, I'm sure Gunn is very aware that, there are, looking back upon DC, there aren't a whole lot of African American or African characters.
No, I mean,
so
there's a certain amount, and then there's a certain smaller amount that's actually from Africa in any capacity.
And it looks like in this timeline, you might as well just let's just not do Buona Beast or mention him in passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the few, DC characters that's not named Black something.
Right. Except they had to call him Freedom Beast.
Yeah, of course.
Because of that connotation.
Right. And the word beast is still very clearly right there.
Yep. It's not a great look.
No. Not sure taking black off was an improvement here, but
yeah. They might call him Buona Beast, and just move on with that day.
Yeah. And in our mural, he's got his cheetah. I don't know why that's the. I guess cheetah is pretty indicative of like both Africa and just animals.
Yeah.
You get a pretty good quick example of like where else are you gonna find that bastard. All right. You want to do a quick break before the next one? We got about 4 more to wrap up here.
We got 4 more to wrap up. Yeah, so we could do another break, and I don't know.
This next guy has a decent resume, even in this very busy encyclopedia that has time for so few.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be right back talking about that. We back, and let's see what we got next.
We got a Wildcat.
We got a Wildcat.
Yeah. Now there's Wildcat 1 and 2. 2 is his descendant. This is not Yolanda. We can skip right to Wildcat 1. Or not descendant, but the we were looking for this. It's not like.
Let me say this. It might be prudent to cover both because.
Oh, you think so?
It might be a situation because we're looking at him in like the 80s to current day, not in the Justice Society days. So it might be Wildcat 2. But I'm sure both of them are going to be, since they're...
It's definitely on the left side of this, I think. But it won't take much to cover her section if we want to. We'd have Wildcat 1, though. Sensation Comics number 1. Right in there from the start. January 1942. Hero Ted Grant. Boxer. New York City. 6'5", 250. Big boy. Master of hand-to-hand combat, especially boxing. Slowed aging like other JSA members. That was a weird thing. So, raised by a timid father, Ted Grant grew up to become a heavyweight boxing champion in the 1930s. After being framed for murder in the boxing ring by mafioso Victor Moretti, Ted became a fugitive from justice. Inspired by the Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, Ted donned a black costume and became Wildcat. Wildcat used his new uniform and his skills to pound out a confession from Moretti and clear his name. As Wildcat, Grant began patrolling the streets of New York City and ridding them of mob-related crime. He joined the Justice Society of America during World War II and had a love affair with Hippolyta. Forgot about that. The Golden Age of Wonder Woman. In 1947, Grant's son Jake was kidnapped by the Golden Wasp, and Wildcat temporarily retired from crime fighting. God, that sentence makes that sound like a much weirder series of events than... That was probably... I'm sure there was like a rescue involved, maybe. It does sound like he got the phone call that I've kidnapped your son. He was like, well, I'm out, and just moved to a ranch.
Yeah.
I guess he opened his new gym, or his own gym, and trained some of the world's greatest fighters. Oh, that would be great. And temporarily retired from crime fight. Opened his own gym and trained from some of the.
Yep.
So just all these people are coming in, and they have to be wondering, like, did you ever rescue your boy, or no? We're just gonna spar. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Batman, Black Canary 2, Catwoman, Wildcat is a current member of the Justice Society and recently used up all his protective 9 lives. Author's getting a little poetic here. Another of his sons, Tommy Bronson, has the power to transform into humanoid Wildcat and join the PSA under his father's code name. Sparring partner Ted Grant, teaching Holly Robinson, Catwoman's close friend, a thing or two about the noble art in this little caption. He's been around from the start. The major tropes you would typically need to know about Wildcat is that he's retired, he's still got it, and he's trained some of the people that you've looked up to your whole life. That's what you need to know about Wildcat typically if you've met him.
I don't know if this is canon anywhere, but I remember there was an implication, at least in a couple of runs, that since he trained Black Canary 2, Dinah Lance, and knew her mother in the Justice Society, there was an implication that he might secretly be her father. But I don't know. I don't remember how that played out, if they actually like said, oh yeah, that's a thing, or if it was just like, no, I loved your father. It was not Ted.
Yeah, there were implications, but he's everybody's father figure though, right? Like,
oh, no, I mean, yeah, he actually helped train Batman too. So
yeah, true.
There was a really cool miniseries that was like Wildcat versus Batman, where like they're like basically abducted and forced to fight in this like underground fucking fight club.
No, of course.
That was fun.
You got to have something like that come through the comics every once in a while. Whirlwind hit Superman a couple of years ago. I mean, most of my interaction with him, the most time I've maybe spent with him in a lot of ways was, again, Brave and the Bold. He was a regular on that, especially anytime you wanted to have that Batman retrain or regroup or go back to his basics a little bit.
But the reason I was saying like it might be his son was just because it was so far along in the timeline. But here's the thing, and you brought this up, but
how dare I?
The Justice Society's the slowed aging, which is actually a part of the story. Like they've brought that up. It's they were blasted with some kind of bullshit, chronal energy. Yeah. Ian Carcole during the waning days of World War II.
Yeah,
they were fighting Ian Carcole, and they were exposed to his chronal energy.
And it slowed theirs down a little bit.
James Gunn doesn't like time travel. Fuck you. This,
I think you are way more hung up on that than he is at this stage.
Probably. This exposure slowed their aging process, allowing them to remain active and relatively youthful for decades. It's just such a weird fucking thing to say as the head of DC Studios.
I mean, it's like if you were an artist and if you were an artist and were just like, I don't prefer pink. Like,
it's like, hello. I've just signed on to be the head of DC Studios, which, by the way, might as well be called fucking Time Traveler Studios. Is everybody in the the comics time travel?
Like 20% of the stories. You still have gods and monsters. Obviously, there's like 7 different ways to get a power in the DC universe.
Also, it's just a funny callback for me at this point. I'm not really too concerned about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun.
It's like, I'm rebooting Back to the Future. I've never really cared for time travel.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
That'd be a hell of a thing to learn on day 2 of your job,
Yeah.
Like, day 1, you got it all. The second day you've come in, you know where the coffee maker is this time, and then they just meet you at 8:31 in the morning. Oh, by the way, time travel. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
My greatest foe. Well, I'll give you a quick Wildcat too. Basically the same situation. Yolanda Montez, my bad. Introduced in the mid 80s. It's varying description here, 1985 or later in 85. Anyway, a ferocious fighter with cat-like reflexes and retractable claws, enhanced speed, and superhuman agility. Original Wildcat, Yolanda Montez's godfather. Yeah, all right. So suffered crippling injuries during Crisis. Sounds right. He gets injured a lot, but he still got it,
Sure.
Yolanda decided to honor her godfather by using her cat-like abilities to carry on in the battling boxer's stead. That is weird. Sorry. As Wildcat 2, Yolanda joined Infinity Inc. and learned there that her powers resulted from experiments conducted by Dr. Benjamin Love upon pregnant mothers, including Yolanda's own. See Helix. Wildcat 2 remained semi-active after the Infinitors disbanded, and later joined a squad of superheroes fighting to liberate Parador from Eclipso. Sadly, she was killed by the villain.
So wait, what? You when you were talking about Wildcat 1, you did say that Wildcat 1 had a son who became Wildcat.
I think that's what that said. So
that's what I heard. And now you're saying Wildcat 2 is Yolanda, which I was aware of Yolanda, but
yeah. So one of another of his sons, Tommy Bronson, who can turn into a cat. And then now he's got this goddaughter who can kind of turn into a cat. So this is very catty. I also like the way this thing phrases it. Like, decided to honor her godfather by using... Like, decided to honor her godfather sounds more like she decided to take up that career and went through 8 to 10, 12 years of training or something like that. No, you already had... You had cat-like abilities. This was not a huge extension.
Father Teddy Grant had many kids.
Right.
Many kids had Father Teddy Grant.
Some of them turned into tiny cats. And then they trained some bats.
So let's just punch a bag.
Which is the only thing in this mural, I guess. Stand
there next to Vibe.
Oh, is that who that is? Okay, yeah. I was looking... that makes more sense. This is a very quick... The V's in here are not...
Right.
There are not a lot. We're going straight... Where are we? Vibe. There you are. God, looking just as 80s as ever, my friend. All right.
Hell yeah. Like, what was he, like 83, 80, 84, something like that?
Introduced in Justice League of America, first series, annual number 2 in November 1984. Introduced a few months after myself. Paco Ramon, based in Detroit. Occupation, superhero. Jesus, you just can apply for anything still. 5'10", 157. I want to see both the LinkedIn and the Glassdoor for that whole organization. Could emit shockwaves to trigger earthquakes. He is he'll go by the name Quake in other universes, and basically that skill set, though, it feels like to me. All right. During the period when Aquaman led a reformed Justice League of America out of a Detroit bunker. Yeah. Okay. They were in a Detroit bunker. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in the first sentence, man. Sorry. Paco Ramon quit as a leader of the local El Lobo street gang to join the new JLA along with fellow Detroiter, Gypsy. Under the codename Vibe, Ramon used his natural ability to vibrate objects or air molecules and generate destructive shockwaves. Vibe's career with the JLA ended with an android created by Professor Ivo tracked and strangled Vibe, making him the first Justice Leaguer to be killed in the line of duty. Really? That feels late to be the first, but okay. Where the hell did I leave off there? There it is. Armando, Vibe's younger brother, had similar powers and later joined the conglomerate as Reverb. Reverb. Later Hardline, when presumably things took a turn. Yeah. Sadly, Vibe has not been allowed to rest in peace. Twice, his undead spirit has been reanimated to vex his former teammates in the JLA. Yeah, I believe he's one of the first Black Knights, or Black Lanterns, I think, that I remember seeing revived.
Well, you remember he is also they brought him back during the New 52 because he was on Flash.
Like the show? Yeah, but
he's Cisco.
I mean,
Francisco Barracus Cisco Ramon.
Well, sure.
That is, and then he became Vibe. When they did that on Flash, they brought him back in the New 52, and he was in Justice League America or Justice League of America, whatever it was.
Oh,
and
okay.
He's the character who is sitting next to Hawkman and goes, "You're covered in blood." And Hawkman goes, "It's not my blood." And then Vibe just sort of gets up and slowly goes down like 3 chairs.
Right? Now, this is why this might be fun. Give me a second here.
Which is a totally James Gunn scene to do.
Oh, I love that bit. Yeah. Now, see if you're in. I know you're going to be in here, you little bastard. Get over here. Where are you? All right. So, Vibe. Yeah. This changes a lot. So, all right. In the 2008 version, we have Paco Ramon. In the 2018 copy, we have Francisco Cisco Ramon. Detroit. All that stuff. Cisco Ramon gained his powers unknowingly when the event horizon of Boom Tube opened in front of him, killing his brother. After the incident, Cisco was studied for years without his knowledge by the government agency Argus. When Argus agent Gunn tested his powers, Cisco passed with flying colors. Gunn then outfitted him with a special suit developed by his agency. He might get outfitted with another special suit by another Gunn. And Cisco became Vibe. Not only that, Cisco was told that starting the following day, he would become a member of a new team called the Justice League of America. And then there's kind of like a whole section over here with like a shout out to Paco kind of situation. Oh, no, this is important. Look at what this guy's doing over here. So this part, breakdancer Paco Ramon said he was too cool to join a team of old super dudes, but realized he needed them as much as they needed Vibe. But breakdancer Paco, that man appears to be doing a non-Australian form of breakdance.
Yeah, I mean it's an Hispanic character in 1984.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do something.
He's gonna be a
something
breakdancer.
Urban in whatever capacity. Absolutely.
He's gonna be a breakdancer. Yeah. I mean, look at his costume. Yeah. He looks like a breakdancer.
Yeah, we're gonna have a series of stereotypes there that all happen on gray street corners and fuzzy American TVs.
Wearing what I would have referred to as a more fleshy, vibrant version of Nightcrawler's costume from the X-Men.
Yeah. Just a cardboard box always nearby, ready to be flattened.
What the fuck?
You got to dance on those. It's a break dancing thing.
Oh, okay.
That's in all the.
I thought everybody broke danced.
Broke danced. Yes, of course.
I thought breakdancing took place on multicolored cubes in a club.
No, that is definitely another place. That's fancy though. Yeah, there's the street corner version where you have to have the cardboard.
Well, Vibe is decked out in a costume that I would imagine you would wear to the club.
That does look much clubbier. Probably. The 80s were weird.
Like, they cut out the part of Saturday Night Fever where that motherfucker danced against John Travolta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was definitely. And killed
Or
it.
perhaps even an older John Travolta showed up at the club 10 years later and went, that ain't what we were doing.
Yeah.
Kids today.
Yeah, but he held his own for a while there.
Yeah.
Shall we to the next?
Sure.
To Gunfire?
Sure.
Someone less ambiguous in their origins or destinations?
Yeah, sure. I guess so.
I don't see Gunfire 1, 2, and 3 in this description, so we get to go straight forward. Yeah. All right.
I was worried.
Yeah.
Because I know how DC be doing, dude.
Yeah, they
I know
do.
how DC be doing.
They do.
I'm like, you motherfucker.
Based in New York City again.
93, though. We moved on to the 90s.
Yeah, we're in 93. Deathstroke Annual number 2. So, big part of his history, apparently. Andrew Van Horn, munitions expert, able to psychokinetically transform small objects into explosive energy projectiles, which he uses on as concussive weapons, skilled hand-to-hand combatant. Psychokinetically do them. Okay, so I'm reading a version of Gambit here, but not nearly as cool and not as powered.
Yeah, this sounds like he's got to show up in Peacemaker and they're going to make fun of him.
Yeah, that would definitely happen. And he would not do well.
It just looks like he turns everything into a gun.
Yeah, a little bit. But, so here's the story. Andrew Van Horn is the wealthy heir to Van Horn Industries, a powerful international conglomerate. Years ago, Andrew and his father were attacked by an alien parasite in one of the Van Horn warehouses in Paris. The elder Van Horn perished, but Andrew was changed into a metahuman with the ability to transform objects by accelerating their particles and warping them into explosive weapons. Sounds cool as shit. Andrew is one of many new bloods, see the blood pack, accidentally created by the parasites. He joined forces with these fledgling heroes and the Justice League of America to stop the parasites' reign of terror. Andrew then learned that his father had been an arms dealer with links to various criminals and vowed to put an end to his illegal legacy. Sorry. Bad turn, bro. Declining JLA memberships, Gunfire used his powers to stop the terrorist activities of villains like the Oblivion Front and their leader Dominion. Dominion was a former Van Horn employee who tried to steal the weapons Gunfire's father had stockpiled. Gunfire defeated Dominion and the Oblivion Front was dissolved. It's an ominous sounding set of names.
Mm-hmm.
Nice picture of him down here below in this here book, defending Deathstroke, who had nearly fallen in battle.
Again. Yeah, I mean, sometimes Deathstroke's a good guy. Sometimes he's on the right side.
Yeah. He seems to be shooting him with what looks like a kitchen sponge that he's powered up and some sort of raptor. I don't know. It's a giant lizard. It reminds me a little bit of the Star Trek lizards.
Let me rephrase something.
Uh-huh.
Deathstroke is never a good guy. He's just a selfish guy whose interests align with the actual good guys from time to time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, there's never a situation where you're going to be like, man, I'm so glad I trusted him.
Because every once in a while I think, sometimes Deathstroke's a good guy. And just when you start rooting for him, you remember Terra and how he was fucking a 15-year-old. And you go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Deathstroke's not okay.
Yeah, they Dr. Lighted him. There's certain storylines you don't want to come back from.
Yeah. He's like superhero Cosby. Just fucking be aware.
Yeah. And that doesn't even get into the mercenary bit. And then who does that leave us? Leaves us with Maxwell. Maxwell Lord. Oh, by the way, this guy. So the tile version of him. This is interesting. The tile version of him just has him with a gun.
Sure.
Which he could presumably fire, and then grenades, which he could presumably throw. They all seem to be doing the muniting for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what his powers are doing. He just kind of looks like Blackguard, you know?
Yeah, he kind of looks like he might be closer to a version of Vigilante. He might be like some kind of
the gun version of Vigilante.
Vigilante's got a gun.
Well, true. Yeah.
It seems like Vigilante might just be like, that fucking guy, you know, like they're like rivals or something.
Yeah,
I don't really see Gunn getting into the whole Bloodlines,
not all that crap, you know,
storyline from the 90s.
No, and all the names that I just mentioned sound too ominous to bring them up in just like a passing context.
Yeah.
But so this guy he's packed with, terrestrial munitions. I don't know what his powers have to do with anything quite yet. It's that.
But it's totally Gunfire. Like I'm looking at him.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's the guy. It's the guy for sure. It's not like he was holding the sponge in the picture here with all the electricity powers. God, there's a lot of M's before you get to Maxwell. And then is he here? Maxwell Lord not in this son of a bitch?
Maxwell Lord. Is he in the son of a bitch?
I thought he would have been right here I got Maxima, I got Mercury, obviously, and I got a Maxi Zeus in between them, but I got no.
Maxwell Lord.
Let's spend a little bit of Elvis Costello on that one.
Really? I was thinking B-52s.
Oh, yeah, I can see that for sure. No, I don't.
Especially if you put that little twist on the voice. Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, when you really... full-throated, it makes more sense. I'm not seeing anything in the M's that is very helpful, and I'm going to look in the L's, but the rest of this book wasn't designed around surnames first, so I don't really know why I'd start now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be damned. There he is, though, under that, 212. All right, we'll go back. Thought it was weird you didn't show up, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Maxwell Lord. Oh, yeah, right there, with the corpse of a beetle next to him.
Yep. Shot that motherfucker in the head.
He did. He sculled him. All right. So, Justice League International number 1, May 1987. Real name, Maxwell Lord. Occupation, criminal mastermind. Have to move up in that, presumably 6'2", 185. All right. So, brilliant strategic mind, telepathic control of others. I keep forgetting this guy has any actual powers because I haven't seen a version with real powers in a while.
Yeah. What did he have telepathic powers? Or no, he had a magical amulet thing in 84, Wonder Woman 84.
That feels about right.
I feel like everyone's forgotten this, but yes, Maxwell Lord was in Wonder Woman 1984, played by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Yeah. He was one of the parts of the movie that I liked. Thought Pedro was doing a good job with it, but
movie sucked though, and yeah,
it is what it is. Let's see. Wonder Woman killed Maxwell Lord to break his mind control of Superman. The Man of Steel did not agree with the severity of her actions. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, she gets in trouble because she snapped his neck in front of everyone. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go through his story real quick. All right. Maxwell Lord was the billionaire who financed the Justice League of America during the period when it was most commonly known as the Justice League International. Good start.
You can guess what Gunn is pulling from immediately.
Explosion of a gene bomb during an alien invasion triggered Lord's ability to control the minds of others. Okay. I mean, here he just looks like a technocrat. He continued as the League's behind-the-scenes leader until killed by a brain tumor. Okay. Lord's consciousness spent time in the robotic body of Lord Havoc until he regained his human form. Holy shit, I forgot about any of that. By this time, his long-term ambitions to exterminate the world's metahumans had begun to bear fruit. As head of Checkmate, Lord had access to the Brother Eye satellite and its army of OMAC agents, which carried programming to annihilate all superhumans. When Blue Beetle 2 discovered the truth of the plot, Lord shot him in the head. Lord then used his mind-controlling powers to take command of Superman and turn him into a remote-controlled weapon. Wonder Woman, faced with the decision to eliminate Lord's threat for all time, killed him instantly by snapping his neck. Well, and that ends the story of Maxwell Lord.
Right. Well, there you go.
I mean, come to think of it, really, other than the versions that we've seen elsewhere, which were, let's face it, a lot kinder.
Yeah.
Between that and Supergirl season 1, if you recall.
I know.
He was borderline a hero by the end of that one, right?
I mean,
He got talked into being one.
He was. He did some good stuff. Look, he wasn't like in Supergirl. He wasn't like a terrible person.
Yeah,
he was just like
making some big,
kind of a
reckless choices.
He was kind of a Lex Luthor from Smallville type of character, and I firmly stand by the opinion that had they not moved to Vancouver from L.A., Kara's sister Alex would have never been a lesbian because they were totally pushing those two together in season 1.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But yes, absolutely.
Like that was a whole thing. Like she was going to be his redemptive arc, or the catalyst for his redemptive arc if she wasn't already. Like he helped them save the day at the end of the first season. It was just because that actor didn't want to show up in another season. They're like, all right, let's do something else with her character.
Yeah. And even then, I think it still took him a season or two before they coupled her with anybody.
Yeah, maybe.
I want to say it wasn't just immediate. I could be wrong about that though. It has obviously been a while.
Yes.
Quite some time. But that ends our journey through the mural as well.
It does. And Maxwell is holding what appears to be some sort of atomic symbol. Yeah. So, by the way, Alex came out as gay in the season 2 episode Changing.
It was too? Okay.
It was season 2, as I believed. What up? How you doing?
I thought they benched her a little bit longer than that, but no.
No. That's what happened.
Does make sense though. I guess they wouldn't have made a whole storyline about how she was single for too long if they hadn't coupled her with something else immediately. That show, you were not allowed to be single on that show.
Nobody was single on that show, ever.
Yeah.
Like if they were single, there was something to brewing.
Yeah, you made a storyline about it.
You even have John Jones wistfully looking off, remembering Miss Martian, because in this continuity they're not cousins.
Yeah. Yeah, they are smashable in this continuity.
He's just sitting there going, hot teacher from Boston Public.
Miss her.
Oh gosh. Anyway, what do you say, man? You want to call it or?
I think call it. I don't. I would have been surprised to find, I guess, that there was some connective thread we could pull out of looking at all these. I mean, I guess maybe it was possible. We know All-Star Squadron's name checked about 12.5 times.
Yeah, that is a thing. And it really is just like
no other major trends.
I would say there is a trend. I feel like, and he might, like I've said, he might not call it time travel. And sometimes it's not time travel, but time heavy situations. Like you got speedsters who I mean, I feel like the mural depicts time travel as far as Whirlwind and Whirlwind and Max Mercury, who are the same character.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's clearly traveling through the decades on the mural. So you've got at least that and Atomic Knight, who.
Well, and then don't forget the what was his name? The Super Chief that exists through a few eras as well.
He exists through a few eras, and so does El-Diablo. In namesake, anyway, with El-Diablo. And, and Hugo, definitely. And Amazing Man. Amazing Man has some interesting connections, and it's weird that they put Amazing Man in that era with Sandman and Zatara.
It can. Well, that's another thing to note. So some of these are connected in certain ways. We have a couple liberties. You would expect them to be connected, and they are.
And you have fucking...
Got a pirate theme up front, for sure.
You have Silent Knight, who's Hawkman. We have a Hawk Girl right now in Superman.
Yeah. A couple of Kents, as I pointed out. I still find that a little striking. Of all the names we could have put on this board. We only had so many slots, and that's one you made it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the Liberty situation is. It does have like I want to say there's like a super nationalistic streak up here, but again, like it's like the history of the JSA in a way. Yeah, I mean, like it's built for a certain thing. A few teams in here, a lot of dead people.
Well, naturally, yeah.
Yeah, this does seem to be a wall of fallen foes, except for the guy who built it at the end, who shoved himself in there.
By the way, I didn't notice the Ghost of Flanders is literally standing with the tomb of the unknown soldier, like the wall of the unknown soldier behind him.
Yeah, behind him. With what I
assuming
are just rose petals or something, maybe.
I can't tell.
Some of the foreground stuff is a little odd. I don't know what the seashells are doing under Zatara.
The fuck are these cactuses?
Yeah, the cactuses are weird. I don't really know why they're. I mean, there's 2 sets of cacti.
That's interesting. Now, hold on.
What have we found?
I don't know.
No.
I'm looking up about the seashells in front of.
The 3 seashells could literally be a reference to like the oldest trick in magic, which is the 3 cups.
Yeah,
but that feels like a weird pull.
There's an article that I'm seeing called "The Many Uses of Seashells in Ritual Magic."
Oh well, plenty of those, but. For that, I guess that could be an actual magic pool. I mean, that there are a few nominees for the oldest trick in magicianry, but 3 shells or whatever you want to call it's one of them.
You know, the Atlanteans use magic a lot. Maybe there's some connection with Zatara and Atlantis.
It's a possibility. We got some lesson learned with our team of the high schooler and his friend who shouldn't have been left alone with that kid. It's kind of an interesting choice for the Atomic Knight to have stuff destroyed, but I guess that maybe indicates the time travel part. Like he's seen.
Well, there's the World War III thing.
The end of things, a few times. Yeah. And we got I don't know why we got a dancing vibe. I don't know. Again, the thing that stands out the most is the strangeness of the choices.
We have a dancing vibe because he's a breakdancer.
Well, he's a breakdancer, I know. Just I don't know why he's there.
Yeah.
I don't know why many of these people are here. And if any of it will ever bear fruit.
Some of it will, Gunn said.
Yes. I don't know any of the ones that I'm questioning in particular. I just don't know which one of those I'll be rewarded for and which ones will be forgotten.
Well, I think we've all been rewarded because this episode exists now.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun by itself. But speaking of, if you want to wrap us up, I have nothing else myself.
Sure. Bye. All right. We'll be back. I don't know if we're doing news or a Superman Through the Ages episode, but we're coming back with something.
Some of those
I would have said the latter, but news is starting to pick up again.
Yeah.
Like, damn it. All right. Well, until we come back, which will be soon.
Yeah.
Keep some damn DC on your screen.